This conference will now be recorded.
And today we are going to see that this topic for LSMW and LTMC, the parallel currency, which I'm going to take it in next class. So it's due to some technical issues. So what is LSMW and what is LTMC? So the full form of LSMW is Legacy System Migration Workbench, and LTMC is Legacy Transfer Migration Cockpit. Generally, we use this for the purpose of generally for bulk data uploading to SAP through LTMC, LSMW are used. And LTMC is introduced in with S4 HANA. Introduced with S4 HANA. Before that, there was only LSMW. Both work in the similar manner. Okay, but LSMW is a little bit advanced, and this is little bit or traditional way. Example, we may think of like why what's this bulk data is required and other things. Like when, like for example, in any company, if the company is switching from Tally to SAP. That means they're already using SAP and they plan to implement SAP. So they're already using Tally. They want to implement SAP. That means they want to switch to SAP ERP. Then whatever the data till the time they had, that has to be shifted to SAP. That's what is required. Example, the GL accounts which they are using, the vendor masters, customer masters, materials, assets, like the values of GL, vendors, customers, assets. So all these things to be transferred to SAP. So generally we know, right, if you want to create a GL account, we go and create it in FS00. We go out and create it in FS. If I have 300 GLs, and on average we get this 300, 400 GLs in any company when we are switching from any other lot database to SAP. And if you have 1,000 vendors, there are companies like they have lakhs of vendors also. If it is in like farmer sectors or some agriculture-based companies, and retail customers will be having thousands of customers. Retail industries like that. In that case, it's not possible to go one by one in BP or FS00. It's not possible. So that's the reason we use these tools. We use this tool to upload the data in bulk. Example, I have taken this below example to make you understand how it works. Assume that today we are going to learn LTMC first, and after LTMC we are going to learn LSMW. And today we are going to the topic is LTMC. It's a very simple topic, and very simply we use it. Simple. First, let us understand. So I already made these things. Like what are the things which we have to update? Example, when you are going for a creation of any vendor, so let me take to make you understand how LTMC works. I'm not talking about LSMW, I'm talking about LTMC. Then once LTMC learned, then we can learn LSMW. Now I'm going to upload 10 vendors at a time. And had mapped what are the entries or else what are the fields need to be updated mandatorily to create a vendor. Example, I had taken this V0 is there. Let me take it as V100. This is the code which I'm giving. Okay, V100, V101, and V102. Like this series, I'll take it. This is the coding which I had given, and the names of this vendor is V100 and vendor 101. So you can give any name. Like I give it as it's in series, I give it in series so that easy to track. In real time, we take the real data of vendor and we upload it. And the same thing, I take it here also. So what exactly we are doing? Let me create you one BP first. So manually I create this BP. Through this BP, I'm going to make sure that what are the fields are required to be updated. That fields I'll map it here. So that when I use this bulk uploaded, the no field should not be missed. Because you know, right, when you're creating BP, if you miss some field system, do not allow you to save that data. So in bulk, when you are uploading thousands of vendors like this, so if something is missed, then it will stop the engine. First, let me create this V100, that is vendor 100. I will create one vendor, then I will take it. This is the code. This you can ignore, but this is the way we will start from here. Now you see, I go to BP and I create one vendor so that we can map the account vendor creation. We can map the we can map BP. So let me go here. So here, actually LTMC is a theory part. That means the LTMC means a bulk uploading program. When I enter this, it will automatically go to Fairy. I log in with Fairy, or else I can log in directly, or else I can go through from here also. So what I do, I take this credentials, go to LTMC, enter LTMC in tab, so it will connect to the Fairy. So log into Fairy. Yeah. So you get this screen. This is LTMC Fairy app. Here, first what we are doing, so we are planning to create a vendor. So actually, I thought of first. Let me show the BP group. Sorry, I missed the first. So let me manually create on BP so that I will come to know what are the fields are required to be mapped. Okay, first before going to Fury, I go to BP here. We know that we are familiar already. We are doing from long term. First, I go to organization, and here I select my BP group. That's the BP group. Second thing, I want to select the title, then name of vendor. So let me create vendor 00 100. Same thing, I enter it in this one. I use system one and the street number and this double nine, this house number, postal code. What are the mandatory things? However, we have to map it, the region, and go here. And this is language is English. See what at all I entered. Just notice here. I selected this BP group. Then I selected the title and the name I entered. Then the search term and the address, that is street, house number, postal code, city, country, region, all parallelly I entered, and finally language. The same fields First BP group, title, name, search term. I have taken search term 2 here also. I tell you why. Search term 1 and our street and house number and postal code and this one. So I have mapped all the fields whichever is mandatory for BP creation. We know that system first generate one BP. I save this. Based on this BP, after preparation of BP, what we do, we go to edit and we select the function. What is the role? To create vendor, we select FLVN00. That will generate a company code here. In company code, we select three things. That also I mapped it, highlighted with blue here. One is I selected the row. The second is company code and select the reconciliations here to create a vendor. Selected the row and click on company code, and as I do select the company code and enter here, select the reconciliation here. So with this information I can create BP. Now you can see this system is generated on BP vendor number and this is BP number. Now I want to create this 10 vendors together. I can create like this 10 like up to 20,000 entries I can create. Sorry, not I think it's 10,000 in one shot. Now I'm creating this 10 vendors I want to create. I don't want to go for BP one by one. So that means if I have 10, I can create one by one. If I have like this 100, I cannot go 100 times here. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to go with 100 times. That's the reason what we do. We use this. One second. That's the reason what we do. We use this Ltmc to create it bulk. Here I have mapped what are the informations which we need to update to the BP. So that using this Ltmc, I create all these entries at once, vendor entries. But in this vendor entries, I use two things extra. One is in search term 2 also I use. Where the search term 2 will come, you can notice when you go to general data, this is the search term 2 field. This also I use. I enter this number, whatever I entered here, the coding. I do tell why this coding is required. Okay, this is extra which I use. You'll come to know what's the purpose behind it. Okay. Other than this, actually, when we do individually one by one, the same thing which we do. Now, I created one window just like that. I use Ltmc and go, and I already entered the Ltmc. So when you want to join, go to Ltmc, just enter here Ltmc, and it will take you to the Fury app from there only. First thing, what you should do here, you have to, as we are creating a new vendors, go to creation. Here, enter the project, the name, what you are doing. I'm creating vendor creation 1.2. I'll take it. Click OK. You can give any name, whatever you want. Once you reach this page, close this migration details and go here and find, as you are creating supplier, that is vendor details, you should mention here supplier. The files here, whatever you see here, like bank or something, whatever you are seeing here, right? These are all the data. Like if I want to create bulk cost center, I can create here. If I want to create bulk bank, I can create from here. Like this, all the data can be created. If I want to create a bulk internal orders or profit center, like vendors, customers, whatever we want to do bulk in bulk, like customers, I can create like this. So we have all the files here. So as I want to create a supplier, I click here supplier and I get the supplier details, whatever the things which has a supplier. So in this, I go for the supplier bank line Click on the supplier bank line. This is the file which we have to use it for BP creation. Like this one, not only BP, you can create GL accounts, you can create cost center, you can create even entries, FB50 entries, FB60 entries, whatever the entries which you want to enter in bulk, which we can use this file for to do the application. You can use the application for posting entries, making the like transactions. Click OK. It takes some time. So I do stop recording until it goes because it takes some time. So let me don't record this.
This conference will now be recorded.
See, I stopped recording because it was taking time, and I just continuation now. Just after updating this, you get this file. Oh, sorry, you get this screen. Here, we have already SAP predefined files are there that you have to download. You have to update the data and you have to upload that to process further. This is the download and upload format. So first of all, before uploading, downloading the format, what you should do, you have to keep one file. You have to keep one Excel file. Okay. I take that Excel file from here only. If it's a remote desktop also, you can keep this. Say I have copied from one system and I kept one Excel file. Okay. So you can create that Excel file in yourself. Okay. For example, you can whatever the Excel file which you can create a new one. I start from new actually whether it's already there or not. I create a new one. So this is the new one. You can see this is the book one. Okay. What you should do now, you have to save this first. Save as. Save as. I'm going to save it on desktop with like I'll give the name folder name Ltmc so that identity will be there and give the name for you can give supplier format first supplier format. So 1.0. Then 1.0, why do I do it? So if something goes wrong, I can use the versions. That's the reason. And you have to select with this Excel 97 2000 workbook, 2003 workbook, Excel 97 2003 workbook, and give the name like this. And within this Ltmc, I'm going to save this under desktop Ltmc. First, you have to save this data first and go to desktop again. In under Ltmc, copy this and keep a copy of this in the same format, in the same this one. Keep a copy of this. Okay, because one format should be there for our usage. Why do I do this? When I download the template, I copy to this and I replace this. I should have one backup for it. That's the reason I keep this. Now I go to this LTMC and here download the template. Click on this download template. So the name you have to keep an like observation on this. Please, do you want to open or save en underscore supplier dot xml from S4? Something is there. That means the name is very much important when you are saving the file. Why means the name, the file name when you are uploading back to this one, system accept this name only with this name only. If you maintain a different name, it won't accept that file. That's the reason. keep this name of file, whatever it may. You may be doing for cost center, you may be doing for transactions. The file name should be like this, starts with like this only. So I keep this en underscore supplier, so that I go here and I make it as a save as, and I'll go to Ltmc and I already have. So you have to select all files here. I already have two files. I keep enter this and I just want to replace. You have to replace that only. So I mentioned this en underscore supplier, the same name whatever is mentioned. Then I can mention 1.0. This is the first version. En supplier. En supplier should be there. After that, you can give whatever the number, whatever the name you want. But this should be common, whatever the file name which you are saving. If you are saving a different file for a different activity, that must be the same thing. If you are doing for asset, then the file name, whatever it comes, it must be start. And now save this and download completed. Let me go and check that. See, that is replaced here. Actually, it is XML file. It's sorry, something went wrong, I believe. Actually, it should be with this name. That means this I wanted to replace this, but it's not done. So let me do it because it has to save it as Excel. Just I redo that activity. Go to download template. I go as save as Ltmc. I'll pick up this all files because it has not saved as Excel. So I copy this. I mentioned first replace this. First I mentioned it as a replace. Yes, already exists. You want to replace it. Yes, I replaced it because I want to switch the. If I change the name, system is going to be change the format. That's the reason I've just replaced it. And you can see that whatever I have, whatever I file I copied zero, like book one, a blank sheet, that's updated with this, all these things. That means you can see this supplier format 1.0 copy. Now, after doing this, what I do first, first thing which I do here, I go here and I change the name after replacing it. I change it to en underscore supplier because first time when I was doing, I just changed the name so that system has taken a separate file for that. But I want supplier file should be saved as an Excel. That's the reason I did this. I replaced it, then I'm coming and changing the name. Let me close this. Now I rename this en supplier 1.0. Open this, give S, and you see this. There is a template, a clear template for all data. So this you can ignore. There is a migration template based on something is there. If you want to wish to see this, you can extend and see this. What is there? You can click and you can read this. It's not much important. Important is here you can see general data and BP rules. These are the two, whichever the color is in brownish, that is mandatory to upload a BP file. So whenever you download any file, these are the things which are colored here like this. This is mandatory, and blue color is like optional. If you want, you can do that, or else you can do this too, and you can do the activity continuation. But this is a mandatory general data to create. First, what happens in when we are creating BP? First, we create a BP, then we can extend it to vendor. First, we create a BP, then we can extend it to vendor. That means, first in BP, we click on organization, then we select BP group, then we do all the other activities and save it. Once it is saved, system generates BP group. System generates BP group. Sorry, BP number. After BP number, we extend role. that is FLVN 00 to create vendor or company code. This is what we do, right? So in BP, what we do, first organization we do, just to understand the process here. First click on organization, then we do select this BP group and we do all the enter, then system generates one number. After that, we extend the role FLVN and the company code will come. Means after creating BP, it will come. But the challenging part here, when we are doing bulk uploading, we don't have that option like, okay, creating BP, then we have to extend it. Means we can do that, but when we are creating in bulk, we have to create it together. We don't have BP number to extend it to vendor. That's the reason what we do. We give one identity for each vendor what we are creating in Excel itself. Example, in this Excel, what I do, I have given an identity here for this each vendor line. So this identity first I'll paste it here. You have to paste it in two sides. This one in this format where supplier, this format en underscore supplier where we downloaded. First identity under general data you have to copy and paste it here. Same thing you should copy here. These two things, supplier identity, that is an identity. So when BP is created, that will connect this and the role. When we want to extend the role FLB and 00 for a vendor, so after creating BP, this will connect, okay, this supplier can be extended as a vendor in this supplier, so this will connect that each other. That's the reason we give this external identity of that. It can be 1, 2, 3, 4 also. It can be V1, V2, V3 also. Whatever you want, you can give it. It's not mandatory that we should give it like this. I'm giving this V100 because the same BP is whatever it's created here that need to be extended as role here. You have to copy this. After this, normally, okay, what's the BP group? What and all we have to create? Like what and all we have to do here. One is first BP group I want to enter when I go to BP creation. Next is I want to create the title. Title I need to select. You can come here. You find. See, wherever you see the star mark is mandatory. See, this does not have a star, but name is there. Name is mandatory. Let me copy the name. Name. Then I go. Title is mandatory. I copy this title. You may see why. What is this 3003? You can see this here in BP 0003. This is the title company. Next is I copy this search term, which is next one which we do. If you just come this right side, here is the search term, the vendor name which we enter. But I said already I am going to use search term 2 as well. I give this identity. Why do I go it here? I tell you, when we are doing bulk uploading, it's mandatory we should give it, or else it's going to be difficult to identify. You will understand why did I give this after posting this entry. Next is, let me go to, I want to enter the street number and the house number and postal code, all these things. I find that fields here. Just keep it. So there are all the fields are there. Whichever is mandatory and whichever is useful to you, you should use that one. Code state, RC number. Here is the street address. I copy this street. I given 1 2 3 4. You can give in real time whatever you want. You can, like whatever the vendor is there, and also I give the house number also 1 2 3 4 5 6. Next, after house number, district is not required. Postal code is mandatory. City is mandatory. Postal code I have taken this, and the city I have taken Bangalore for all. Country is mandatory. You can see a star mark is there. So the country is IN. Region is 10 actually. The code is 10 for Karnataka, Bangalore. Once this is done, next thing is mandatory that okay, we have almost updated everything. We left with only language. Updated region, country, city, postal code, street number, street, house number, such term, everything is completed. Only we left with language. Find that language here. So you go right side. Here is the language. So means whatever we try when we want to create an BP, so we have updated all the things whatever is required to create a BP. Once it is done, we have to go to BP roles here, and we should tell for the BPs whichever is created from this sheet supplier, that is BP, you have to clear it. It has to be extended to FL VN00. This is the role which has to be extended, company role. Yes, if the company role is extended, you see this. The next one is we extend in the company role. System has to extend and it has to upgrade this company, and that is the reconciliation. 1500 is the reconciliation GL. Just go to after BP approval role and go to company code data. Here also it is mandatory that you have to enter this whatever the supplier which you want to extend it to company code. You have to enter this. This is mandatory. Then enter the company code P-20 for all. All these suppliers, that is BP coding, should be extended to company code. Remember why we use this BP code, the supplier code, because when BP is created in bulk, this is the identity which leak. Okay, these BPs whichever is going to create, that need to be extended to this role, and that should be extended to this company. As we cannot create BP and then we cannot go for supplier separately, we are doing together in one by one. When we are doing single, we do create, then save it, then we go for extension. But when you are doing bulk system, we cannot do that. That's the reason we are giving and linking between these BP roles and company code and BP. So what should be what, like that. So and I take this reconciliation here. So here is the reconciliation mandatory, and whatever the information, other information, if you want, you can enter, even withholding tax, GST numbers, PAN numbers, all these things, whichever is right, we can enter in additional data and all. But I don't go for all those things right now. I'm taking in basics, whatever we do, being in BP creation, whatever is basically it is required, I updated all the things for all these 10 vendors. Once this is done, just go here and save as, go as save as, okay? Or it's already saved as EN supplier 1.0. Just save it directly. You can save it directly. Why? What happened? I don't know whether it's saved or not. Let me check out. Yeah, data is not saved. I don't know why. Okay, let me copy all the things again. We can't do anything. I don't explain it again. So I stop recording.
This conference will now be recorded.
There was some Excel issue. That's the reason I stopped recording and I restarted this. They see what did I do when I was saving this? We have saved this format with the Excel 97 worksheet. Actually, what is one more thing is we have to save it in one point like Excel template version. So this is particularly this system issue. It is not actually general. In general, we just enter with XLS and it will update. XLS 97 2003 it will update automatically. But in this system, it's not accepting. But not a problem. However, we have to upload whatever the system accepts. So what you have to do, whatever the downloaded format is there, right? If you can do it in the first time itself, like I'm going to resave it. See, I have selected here Excel 97 2003 workbook. But what I suggest, you don't select if it's not working. If it has to work in your system, if it's not working, you have to select this Excel 97 2003 template. You have to select if it's that is not working because you saw that like it was not saving. It was just taking for like restarting the system. It was Excel was not saving, so that you can use this so that it will work. This is the common things exercise which you have to do. But what I do, I just start with the 2 series here, 2.0. Just it's a new template, right? But this one is Excel 2003 template and save it. And this 2.0, so that when I'm showing this file, right, you will get no, okay, this is a new file 2.0. I go here and I do the same thing. It definitely worked this time. Sometimes we should have patience in SAP to understand SAP. Okay. So in real time, we do this like whole night. We do it sometimes. We get this common things, errors and other things, and all common. We do mistakes. System has some control. System may do some mistakes. We have to bear with all those things. And the name which I entered, and now I go for title. Next, the title is here. Next, I go with search tab 1 and 2. The search tab 1, I am entering the vendor name, what I am creating. Search tab 2, I am creating the identity. Then the next thing which I want to do is street and house number. Just go just right side parallel. Street is here. You can copy and street and number together, not a problem. Just like Excel. Next is postal code and city. Together I copy. Then the country code and agent and region. Region state. Region means state here. That is 10 I write it. Next is language. Enter EL. Save this first before going further. This time it's saved, not a problem. Next, go to BP row and take these numbers and go to BP row and tell the system this needs to be extended to FLVN00. The next step, which we have made. And then go to company code data. Here also enter this first this identity number because these are the things to be extended to this company code. That's the meaning of that. And then enter the company code. Finally, recon account we have to enter. Once this is done, save it first. First you save this file. After that, go here and save as. But here this time, say the Excel 97 2003 is template which we use because we can enter the data, but we have to save this in XML spreadsheet 2003. In this system I'm doing. If it is accepted in your system directly, when you're doing real time, we do directly this format only. Actually, we do it with Excel 97 2003 only, but it's not accepting. I use template, and then finally when I'm saving, I'm using this XML spreadsheet because this is accepting in the system. But in real time, it will accept with this one format only. 97 2003 workbook is enough. You can copy or download it to this format, and you can update this format, and you can save it in this format, and you can upload it in this format only. But to upload the file in this system, which I am using in this demo system, it accepts only XML spreadsheet. So I am using this XML spreadsheet. I'm keeping one copy 2.0 or 2.1 as XML spreadsheet and save it. Yes, but now it is giving problem. So let me try this again. Which one? 2.0 series, right? 2.0 website files. Hmm? That's that file. I saved it, right? 2.0 was there. Did I save it any other file? Let me go.
This
Yes.
conference will now be recorded.
This is the file which we wanted to upload. So this you can see 2.01 is there. So what you have to do after this is the template version which we have. That is 2003 template version. You can see this is a format which you can see template version 97 2003 template version. Here you have to go as save as and first check out this file. That's the file which was missed, so that I stopped recording and I came back. It was saved in some the different folder, and I go to Ltmc whichever, and here I save this as an XML spreadsheet 2003. That I'll make it 2.1 en supply 2.1 XML spreadsheet, or else let me make it 2.2, so fresh one, and save it. Once this is saved, you can see that here 2.2 en supply. This is the file which I want to upload. So system upside this XML file. Actually, XML file you cannot read it actually. If you open also, you do, like you see that how it looks. Okay. Okay. Now this is the XML spreadsheet which I'm using, which I want to upload. I'll go here I go for uploading. This actually, this one. I need to relog in again. Enter Ltmc again. Login. Create. I'll create it as vendor 2. 1.2 is there, right? I'll create it as 1.3 because already exists means it won't accept. Create. Here, go here and search supplier. Come on. Yes. So here we downloaded and we updated all the data. Just we go for uploading now, that XML format, and go here and pick up that XML format which you so 2.2, which is the recent one, XML.com document. You just upload this and upload. Actually, it will accept in 97 2003 format only Excel, but in the system it's accepting only XML format. Okay, let it be. Just select this and you have to click on activate. Next step. That means this file is activated. Now you can start transferring. So I'm telling the system to transfer the values. So now that will generate 4 steps need to be done for this. 4 steps to be done next. So data validation takes some time. It will take some time generally. If it is 10 program, it may be 1,000 entries. It will take its time. Probably like 5% is there, it will come to 100%. Then we can check for 4 steps. So you can see if in the back end first, second, third, four steps are there. So each step should pass through. So then if it is passed through, this everything is going to be smooth. If something is wrong there, the system throws an error. Okay, we will check that. I stop recording when it reaches 100. Then I'll get into recording again so that it saves time.
This conference will now be recorded.
Yes. See, it reaches 100%. Then you can click on close. Now, if anything is error is there, it will update here in the standard. So you can background. If something information, you can go ahead next. Okay. Let me check. So there is information. Something error is there, na? So then it will give an error. If it is error is there, you cannot go further. If you go further also, the lines which have error, it won't create. Only the lines which do not have errors. That means if you miss any one line, if you miss some information mandatory, then it will give an error in that particular line. As it's showing all information, that means everything is okay. Just click next. It will come to the next level too. Convert values. First is validate the data, yes, done. Then convert the values. There are some confirmation it will ask, okay, for all the data what we are entered here. You select all and confirm mapping values. Just click on this confirm mapping values. It will confirm all the values. So if it is not any confirmation is not there, that means it will check the values. That means there are one option is there which we can change it here if something values are not getting corrected, updated. That we can check it. Generally, if you check it in the Excel itself when you are creating, you don't need to check it here. It's not difficult to check here. It's better we have to check it in base file itself. Yes. See, all the values has been confirmed, but one value is not confirmed. That is still red. So if you want to confirm this, just click on this. But it should be all should be confirmed. Then only you can go ahead further. something no integration, yes. So this is the default. I'm just mentioning custom. Yes, I don't want any integration, no integration. Click, select this. After that, click on save. So then all the informations are going to be confirmed. So okay, all task processed. Then you can see this next button. The second is okay. Third, it will convert it to simulate import. Third level. See, if it is a 10 value, if it's a 1000 value, it takes the same own time. It's a take its own time. Okay, but minimum time it will take. Fair app, you should have some patience. Okay, think of in whole night we do this all these things within because tomorrow morning when go live starts, we have to upload all the data. That means specifically this cutoff data. Masters and all we update once, but cutoff data should be done faster. Again, I will start recording after it reaches 100. Okay.
This conference will now be recorded.
Yes, if the third step is reached, then we can go ahead, and the fourth step it will. Yeah, if any error is there, it will show here in the import simulation of import. We should check that the priority, all information, there is no error. Then click on next, the fourth step. This is the step which the SAP are going to create vendors. Execute import. And 0% when it reaches 100%, I'll click OK. I'll start recording again.
This conference will now be recorded.
The now fourth step is 100%. Then let me check any error is there. Priority, you have to check the priority. If something is not created, it will throw whichever the lines which are not created, which error, which line has error, and you have to check in the below. So just come down. All information, there is no error. If something is wrong, it will show the errors, whichever is the errors. So that lines you have to recreate it. Whichever it does not have error lines, that will get created. For example, you have 1000 vendors are creating and 1000 cost centers are creating. In that, maybe 5 or 10 say 10 vendors or cost centers are not having proper values. Then it will stop the 10 this one. Then other things it will get created in the 4 steps. 990 it will get created. Now, as it's all information, everything is created. How can we come to know which we created? The one way is the simplest way which we can get. So in the file, what we have done, we had this supplier code. In the general data, see, it's created 10 vendors. It is created. It's very if you are creating 100,000, it's very difficult. Okay, what vendor code? What here? If I click on this, what code vendor? What supplier code got what BP code? We don't know because it's created bulk. And what supplier code got which vendor code? We don't know. It's very difficult. That's the reason what we do. We had given this id in the search term 2. What I do, I take the search term 2 and I go to BP here. Based on the search term, you can see the search term number. Search term is there, search term 2 is not there, but I have search term 2 here. I go here and I can get the search term numbers here. I can ask the system, okay, just organization and the search term I can give here. B101. Enter. It will come here. Vendor 101. and vendor one, so that I can get the BP number of this. This is the BP number, and I can go to vendor is extended for my company code. This is the vendor code for my company code. How can I come to know? Because you see here, as we are creating bulk IDs, if you don't give any identity within masters, sorry, not this one. If you don't give anything here, supplier code we give, because based on this system extend the role. But system generates on BP code. We cannot we cannot go with the names actually. Okay, which vendor has got which name? We cannot. Vendor one, vendor two. If it's a Prakash, Sanjay, like the traders are there, so I cannot go with that. Okay, this number got this vendor got this name, this number. Uniqueness will not be there. So if we maintain that uniqueness here, the system too. So we can just do the VLOOKUP or something. For example, I go to the table. What we do in real time, I go to table SE16N and I go to the table SE16N and I go to BUT000. BUT000 is a BP code where we can create, and search term 2 I have here. And I come here and I give that all the search term here 2. Because this is based on this only system extended the company code vendor. I give this first, I'll pick up the BP code. I paste this here. Where I can go in the search term. The search term I can go here and I can paste it here. All the things. And execute. I'm asking what are the vendors which has this ID. So you bring it. So vendor 1, vendor 2, vendor 3 name, search term. And search term 2 we can give it here. This is the search term. These are the partner numbers. This is the BP partner numbers. I got the BP numbers. And using this BP numbers, I can search the vendor, or else I can go to SE16N and I go to LFB1. LFB1 is a company code data. Give the company code and execute. I get all the numbers here, whichever I created. How can I can link it. Actually, in real time, we don't get a problem because vendor code and BIP code are going to be the same. We don't get. And we have one particular table to link the BP code and vendor code. I just 1 second, let it come. There is one table name is there, that is IBP supplier. Here I can enter the BP number and I can get the vendor number, or else I can enter the vendor number, I can get the BP number. Now I have these vendor numbers or else BP numbers. I'll go to BP again, sorry, this SC16N and BUT000. Because in real time, when you're getting thousands of vendors, we cannot go with the names. Okay, this vendor got this way, and because we have to upload the values to them, that open items, whatever the values they have, right? We have to upload that. Then if we cannot make a mistake that okay, vendor number, for example, vendor 101 as 1,000 rupees open item, I cannot upload it to 1,002 by mistake because he will get paid then. Then we should have a proper vendor code, so update there. Now you see, I got this BP number here. This is a BP number. Copy this, and I go to that IBP supplier code and enter BP number here. and execute. I get the vendor number here. This is the vendor number for this BP. This is the group, vendor group. So these are the vendors which we can. I can go here and I can take the names of this BP and other things and give that number in Excel. Okay. And now it's very easy that I can update here, and so that balance is also, this is the vendor number for this. Balances also I can upload to it. Hope you're clear. Why do we use the search term in search term? Because we should have a track. We should have a track what code which we used and which code has got which number, BP number. Through that we can identify vendor number. Okay, got it, Santosh?
Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
Yes, see this video again. Practice it. Once you practice, you understand better. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Try this file again. Try this. You can check out these files and create your own file. Do the thumbs wrongs. Do the mistakes. You understand better always. Okay. Any doubts you can ask. Thank you.
Okay, sir.